So there you have it, one ice cream pod. Not looking too great at the moment. Colours are dreadful, all faded. It's quite old. I'm sure it was done quite a few years ago now. Just everything about it, all the colouring, the actual vinyls on it, they all got to come off, and we're going to be rebranding it, a whole new colour scheme, and try and modernise it and make it really stand out when it goes to all the different venues. So we actually have the colours we're going to be using. So this is the kind of thing we're going for. So it's going to be like a pale blue base with the darker stripes, and obviously all the Rossi logos will be going on as well. So this base will be completely blue, the middle will be white, and the top blue again with the stripes starting from the top and then going right down to the bottom there with the middle white. So yeah, obviously we've got to take off all that horrible nasty old paint we got up there. There's a lot of mould up there and just like plant life growing in there as well. Clean up all the metal. A few little rust bubbles at the bottom now, nothing major. We'll paint all the towing hitch as well. And really try and make it stand out, because just at the moment now it's just horrible. So yeah, looking forward to starting on this. We will start by taking off all the vinyls. That's the first thing. Those stars at the bottom, they're vinyls. Give it a good rub down. Sort out any little bits and pieces that need doing, and then we'll start painting it. Yeah, it's quite high, so we've had to get like a working trellis with boards on it to actually work around it, because it is quite high. So reaching the roof was going to be a problem. It's not now. We've sorted that out. But yeah, we'll get cracking on it. And we'll see how it goes. So let's do it. So we were just about to start working on it, but before we could do anything, we've noticed that the jockey wheel was all bent and twisted, which made it really hard to maneuver this thing in and out. And what it looks like has happened is someone has tried to, or rather moved it with the jockey wheel down, and has now bent the bracket, because this is basically brand new, but it looks like someone's forgot to wind it up and drove it or moved it while the jockey wheel was down, so they've bent the bracket, and that's why it's now all bent and twisted. So before we do anything, we're going to have to re-weld the jockey wheel and see if we can get it to move about, because there's no way we're going to be able to move that in and out of the unit without a jockey wheel. So let's see if we can get that sorted first. Right, so what we're going to start by doing is, I think, we will give the roof a clean, because naturally that's never been cleaned ever in its life, most probably. So we'll get all that crap off. So we'll use some like TFR on it, jet wash it off, and once we do that, we can then move on to all the vinyls. So all this lot, all that lot down there, the stickers there, all the way around. We'll get all the vinyls off. And it's a warm day as well, so that helps. But we'll use a heat gun on it, which will make life a little bit easier. Get that roof, start from the top and work our way down. So let's do that. Lucky you don't have to go through all this, I'll just skip the video forward. So I'll see you in a few hours. Right, phase 2 complete. We have completely de-vinyled it. I have no nails left to prove it. It is a bit of a crappy job, but it has to be done. So now she's all nice and clean, stickerless. The only thing I've got to do now is, obviously when you take these vinyls off, you have like the sticky residue left behind, which we'll go over with light thinners and clean that up. But other than that, completely naked. So we can move on to the next step now. We'll start rubbing it down and start getting the bodywork ready for painting. So like I said earlier, I think we're going to start with the roof. So I'll mask the whole bottom end off, do the roof, put the base on, because we are using a base coat, and then lacquering the whole thing after once it's done. Right, so we've got the roof ready for painting now. Took all the vinyls off, had to take all the glue off as well, because when you take vinyls off it leaves like a residue behind, so that took a bit of time getting all that off. But now that it's all been cleaned up, rubbed down, cleaned up, it's ready for the base blue to go on. So we're going to start off with the lighter blue. I think you can see it in here. So we're going to start off with the lighter blue, and once we've got the base all done, we'll do the darker blue stripes. So we'll do that next and get the roof done. Right, so we're going to start marking up where the stripes have to go. We have to measure up. So stuff you're going to need: measuring tape, obviously, this ruler, metal ruler, which is flexible, which is perfect for this job. This masking tape, which is like a non-bleed through masking tape, specifically for stripes. So when you put the new paint on top of the base coat, it doesn't bleed through. You get a nice sharp edge. And a pencil. So what we're going to do is measure up, because we want the stripes to be absolutely spot on in regards to where they sort of meet in the corners, and so it carries on exactly the same all around the vehicle, because whatever we do at the top has to then be copied down at the bottom as well. So we want to make sure that the stripes are completely, well, obviously parallel to each other, but the sizes and where they end to each corner will be completely symmetrical. But we'll measure up, and then you should have a better idea of what I'm on about. Right, so what we've done, we've started masking up the stripes, but the way we started was we found the centre of the actual unit, and from that we set our centre stripe, which is going to be a wide one, and then from that we worked our way outwards. So we've made these big ones. So what we've done, we've gone obviously wide, and then we've got the narrower stripes as well. So as you can see here, we've masked the big ones up because they're going to be this blue, and the narrow ones, these ones, are going to be the darker blue. So we've used, as I say, this kind of special masking tape. It's different to what you normally use, this kind of stuff, because with this you can stretch it and get some really nice curves on it. It doesn't wrinkle, it doesn't go funny, it doesn't tear, so you can really stretch it and get some really fine lines. And on top of that, you'll get no bleeding through of the other colour into this colour. So yeah, that's really good stuff. So yeah, so we've masked the big stripes up with paper, so we'll continue to do that, and we'll do that all the way around. It does take time. You need a lot of patience, and you've got to make sure that every stripe is the right width, the right position, or else when it's done it will just look odd. But the patience will pay off at the end. So I'll carry on doing that and hopefully get this all masked up today. Right, it's taken the best part of a day to mask it all up, measure it and mask it, but it is finally done. So it took a lot of time measuring it up, getting the stripes exactly parallel and the right width, but it's all done. So tomorrow we will start blowing in the darker stripes. Right, so we've finished spraying the darker blue stripes now. Given it a couple of coats, it's covered well because the base was already blue. So we'll just give that a little bit to just dry off. It shouldn't take long because it's quite a warm day today. And then we'll start peeling away the tape and the masking paper and see what it looks like. I think that looks pretty good. See, this is what I meant about the using that special plastic type tape, masking tape. You don't get no bleed through at all. It's a nice sharp edge, and plus you can curve it, like stretch it like I did round here, around this curve here, which you obviously can't do with normal masking tape. So yeah, very good, and that is exactly the effect I want. So I'll carry on taking off all the masking paper, masking tape, and then obviously the next step is going to be lacquering the whole top. So the roof is completely finished now. We've just lacquered it. It's completely done. So that's looking good. Now we can start on the lower part, which we will basically replicate what we did on the roof. We have to do all over again on the bottom. So we're about to start on the bottom now. I've rubbed it all down. It's all masked up. I've had to rub down where it was two different colours. There was an edge, so I had to make sure we got rid of that, feathered that off. But it's ready now to put the base on. So we'll do that now and see what it looks like. So it's all based up now. We've got a base blue coat on. So we've got it all masked up now. It took a little while, it's quite involved, but it's all masked up and ready for the dark blue stripes to be sprayed on. Now that we've got the bottom half painted as well, along with the roof, we need to move on to the middle section, which is going to be all white. So we'll now rearrange the masking to cover the bottom and the top, and we'll start preparing the middle section. We've just finished putting the final coat of the white on, so we're getting close to completion now. We'll just let it dry, take all the paper off, give it a good once over and just make sure everything looks okay. And we should pretty much be done. Right, so we finally finished this pod. We'll do a little walk around of it and see what it looks like. So here she is. So there you have it, one ice cream pod, all painted, ready to go, ready to start making money. Till next time.